Surah Al-Hashr, Part 3. Learning Objectives. Assalamu alaikum, my dears. Welcome back. Let's return to our lesson once again. In this part, we will interpret the verses of Surah Al-Hashr from verse 18 to 24. So listen carefully and let's get started. This noble verse carries a set of divine directions for the servants. Allah Almighty commands the believers to believe in Allah Almighty and His Messenger, obey Him, and act in accordance with Islamic Sharia. Besides the importance of fearing Allah and being mindful and conscious of Him, it is necessary to hold oneself accountable and reflect on the deeds you have done in preparation for meeting Allah Almighty on the Day of Judgment. As you know, none of your actions are hidden from Allah Almighty. He is well aware of them and all of the secrets of your hearts. He will reward you for them on the Day of Judgment. In this noble verse, there is a warning to the believers not to be like those who discarded the commands and prohibitions of Allah Almighty and insisted on committing sins. Because of their actions, their fate was that Allah Almighty made them forget to do the things that would help them on the Day of Judgment. They didn't do good deeds or worship Allah, so their final destination is external fire of hellfire. Allah Almighty has described them as rebellious. Rebellious people are those who disobey Allah and His Messenger. Let's learn the new meanings. The phrase "He made them forget themselves" means that they did not perform any good deeds that would benefit them in the hereafter. So make sure to always obey Allah Almighty and avoid behaving like hypocrites and sinners. In this noble verse, the fate of both believers and disbelievers is stated. Those who are tormented in hellfire are not equal to those who are blessed in paradise. The external blazing fire is the fate of the disbelievers who disobeyed Allah Almighty and refused to obey Him and His messengers. On the other hand, the paradise of bliss, beneath which rivers flow, is the final destination of the devoted worshippers who obeyed Allah Almighty. They are the victorious ones, enjoying the external pleasure. Therefore, make sure to make dua for Allah for this everlasting blessing by saying, O Allah, grant us the highest paradise without reckoning or prior punishment. Ameen, O Allah. This noble verse reveals to us the extent of the influence of Allah's verses on the universe. If Allah Almighty had sent down this Holy Quran upon a mountain, it would understand its promises and warnings. Despite the strength and toughness of this mountain, you would have seen it humble and torn apart out of fear of Allah Almighty. These examples are set and clarified by Allah Almighty for people so that they may reflect upon His power and greatness. These verses tell us that Allah sets forth these comparisons for people so that they may reflect. This means we should take time to think about the Quran's teachings and how they apply to our lives. This verse encourages us all to think about the Holy Quran, understand its meaning, and apply the lessons we learn to our lives. Now, which of you can correctly recite Surah Al-Hashr from verse 18 to verse 21 and interpret their meanings? Well done. Now let's answer some questions related to this part of Surah Al-Hashr. Are you ready?